Hey everybody, welcome to Games the Time Forgot. I'm October, and today we're looking at Asura's Wrath, or as Dash likes to call it, You're Not Good with Words, Are You? As always, a quick description of the plot. You play Asura, one of the 8 Guardian Generals, designed to defend Gaia against the Goma. You can feel free to say that 5 times fast. Lord knows you're going to hear a lot of that. Having defeated the latest incursion of Vitra, the mother of the Goma, the head Goma, it's never really quite explained. But anyway, having fended them off, you return back to your home, only to find the Emperor dead, your wife dead, your daughter captured, and all of your other 8 Guardian Generals, well, 7 Guardian Generals, totally stabbing you in the back and flinging you to your death. Asura arrives in Naraka, where, aided by a golden spider, begins his quest for vengeance and to fulfill his wrath. And you will be constantly reminded of his wrath. They don't have any synonyms for his wrath. His wrath is so great that they have to remind you of it. He'll remind you of it. Passers-by will remind you of it. The goddamn spider will remind you of it. But look, dialogue aside, I had a blast with this game. But since stuff that people like doesn't make for good YouTube videos, let's open up with the stuff that I didn't like. First of all, obviously the dialogue. You're gonna remember that Asura is wrathful. If you don't remember, you'll be told. Remember how I just did that earlier? Yeah. It's pretty much that. Every level, regardless of who you're talking to. Second up in the complaint train is the fact that it's a Capcom game. Capcom put this out in 2012, and they are not really known for being the most racially sensitive company in the business. And this game does have a lot of Eastern overtone. The characters appear in various mythologies, mostly Hindu, Buddhist, and Shinto, with a couple touches of Japanese, Chinese, and Korean folklore throughout. I found myself skipping through part-time truth-teller Wikipedia to find out where the characters got their names and what that meant. In a couple cases, it's actually kind of cool. I learned a lot about Hindu mythology just finding out about what Asura was. And I suppose they should get credit for trying to make it a multi-ethnic cast, although why people with Russian names had British accents was a little bit beyond me at first. Also beyond me was character design. For the most part, it's pretty cool. I like the post-organic feel to it, and admittedly, they do all look badass. Except for Ganondorf here. He's one of the main bad guys. No Triforce involved, though. It's weird. Anyway, what I did like about it was this. It's actually a quick-time event game. I normally can't stand quick-time event games, but this was really well done. The structure, it's an anime that you interact with, and each level acts as an episode. And even the boss fights take up an entire episode/level as kind of an homage to the overpowered, weird kung fu anime of my youth, like Dragon Ball Z, for example. Somehow this felt good. It felt great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, and I really am not a fan of David Cage games, QuickTime events as a whole. And the fact that they tried to make this into its own genre, into its own thing, was enthralling, and I wanted to see where it went. The overall feeling I got was that this is what would have happened if David Cage went on a coke bender after watching End of Evangelion and decided that, yes, he was going to let you do things in video games again. And it's kind of awesome. And while the dialogue might have been hackneyed and kind of lame, the storytelling was pretty well done on the whole. Each character had a clearly defined motive, and I wanted to see what happened next. The fact that you're a father trying desperately to save his daughter from a fate worse than death, reincarnation, this is where the plot kind of gets wonky. Because while Asura constantly dies, he's not dead. He never actually enters Naraka. He just sort of hangs there by one arm while a spider taunts him. And even the humans who get killed by the score don't seem to enter samsara, one of the key tenets of the Hindu faith. They just get sucked into a 3D model of a Tool t-shirt to be used as fuel for a weapon. The level design is pretty good too. And I did like the commercial breaks to add to the overall theme of anime. It's linear gameplay, but you have no illusions of free will in this. You're just playing through the series, making sure that the characters end up where they're supposed to be, because they don't have anywhere else to end. Which is fine, because the game is badass. You feel good pulling off the combos, you feel good hitting the buttons when you're supposed to, you feel good when you finally crush this bastard! And on the whole, that's what the game seems designed more than anything else to do. It's a story that's meant to make you feel awesome. This is the passage of the wrathful Buddha, come at the end of the last generation, to clear away the old, then make way for the new. Or even better, this is the tale of the Monkey King jumping to the end of the universe and bitch-slapping the Buddha, demanding that he get his daughter back. One of the best parts of this game is the fact that it took a Baroque idea like a space opera stretched it out all over the place, made it so that way over the top wasn't nearly high enough, made you feel awesome for doing everything it told you to, and in the end, you punch out various deities, which is just a happy thing for me. Oh, crud, one last complaint. In order to get the actual ending of the game, you're gonna have to purchase a DLC. It's called Nirvana, and it is worth the $7 you pay for it. It's a completely new act of the game, continues the storyline, and gives you closure. The fact that it is a DLC, though, and not actually on the disc, sucks. It sucks. It's a cheap-ass move done by Capcom to get one last little drachma out of you. But the other DLCs are good, too. There's the Lost episodes, where they fill in different things that happened off-screen, including 2 very badass scenes. And then there's, of course, the Capcom tie-ins. You can fight against Ryu or Akuma in 2 severely limited Street Fighter levels, followed by 2 Welcome Back to the Game levels. Look, for as much as I might bitch and moan about the fact that Capcom tends to be racially insensitive, it did get me off my ass, or back onto my ass, depending on which way you want to look at this, just work with me, people, and start to look into Hindu and Shinto and Buddhist and a couple other mythologies just to find out whether or not they were being accurate. And it was very enjoyable. I ended up learning a lot simply by doing the homework to see if they did theirs. It's got some Freudian humor to it, the fan service is kept to a minimum, but where it's there, it kind of works with the plot, sometimes it doesn't, but in the end, I had a blast playing this game. So in the case of Asura's Wrath, I am giving this game 8 arms out of 10. I say pick it up if you have a chance. It really is quite the experience. Well, that does it for Games That Time Forgot. Again, I have been October, and I still don't have a decent signing off phrase. So just imagine me waving at you and pointing at the game, and until next time, later, bye, show over, go. Akuma? Akuma, Akuma, Akuma. Asura's Wrath. Azura. God damn it. Akuma. Azura's Wrath. I'm not even going to try and say this dude's name. I'm just going to... No. From here on out, I'm just going to sing Little Spanish Flea every time I screw up a name, and that way, you guys can blackmail me later or something. Just, add it to the outtake reel, we'll go from there. Blah!